Everyone, welcome to our last element of the unit, person's ethics, of our course of ethics. Moral virtues or virtues as itself. What is a virtue? Well, virtues are something that we are good at, that enhance ourselves, that perfected us because we converted into an habit, something that we use to do continuously and make us excellent. Not every virtue is ethical or moral. For example, Messi is a really virtue soccer player. So also, for example, U2, or the group U2, they are a virtue group. Mozart was a really virtuous composer. We can talk about lots of people that were virtue, but we need to understand the difference between virtue and moral virtue. We can define virtue through different authors. For example, Plato said that a virtue is something rational that we master over the appetitive and irascible faculties. We can understand that appetitive and irascible as the idea of thinking and willing, stopping or mastering over our impulse, instincts, and all those stuff. So if we can master and rationally think more than our instincts and acts, then we are going to be virtue. Nonetheless, his student Aristotle told us that a virtue is the possession or the habit, even though the art that perfects the actor. If we are actors of our own life, whatever habit that perfects our action will be virtuous. Saint Thomas Aquinas, that was Aristotelic, told us that the good habit for our personal and others' well-being. So if we notice, we are going through something bigger and bigger, for example, because an habit is something that we do rationally. So we need to overcome the appetitive and irascible faculties with the rationality and our free will. That, if we do it as an habit, we perfect ourselves. And if that it's a good habit for us and for others, that's a virtue for St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Augustine previously said, are good qualities of the soul. We cannot take that as the whole, because if we are looking, we can sum up into St. Thomas Aquinas. Because even though it's a good quality of the soul, it is not only a good quality, but a good habit. And finally, the Stoics said that it's the mastery over passions. So if you notice this, we are going through the most extreme points to the middle point, that is St. Thomas Aquinas. That's the definition of a virtue that we're going to use. The good habit for personal and other well-being. We took the good qualities of St. Augustine, we take the habit from Aristotle, we take the mastery over passions or the rational mastery to become into a good habit for personal and others' well-being. Therefore, one virtue is a quality of excellence. That's the real meaning of this word that is in your left side of the image, that it says arete in Greek. That means quality of excellence, something that is excellent. Therefore, it's a disposition to act well, to act good, according to what it's needed. Also, it's an habit and a practice. So we have to do it continuously for more than 21 days and do it with that intention. And finally, it becomes the moral and cardinal virtues. There are 4 cardinal virtues. First, and all of those are against vices. What are vices? The contrary of a virtue. It's also an habit, but it's a bad habit. Our cardinal virtues are 4, as I told you. The fortitude, that is the courage and strength that we are facing challenges. It's not a strength, but that's why there's a difference between fortitude and strength, because this is our inner strength, the inner strength to overcome everything in our lives. involves our standing firm when we believe something, even though anyone is doing it. It's like this idea that bad is bad even though everyone is doing, or good is good even though no one is doing it. That's fortitude. The second cardinal virtue is justice. What is justice? Well, it's fairness, righteousness, and giving each people their due. Well, this is something that we can not understand as well. So it involves treating others with equity. Not fair, but equity. Upholding the rights and dignity for all, and acting in accordance with our moral principles. It is understanding that everyone is different, and we need to understand that we are different also. So we need to understand and act according to, in relationship also to others, according to the relation that we have with the others. Temperance. Temperance is the self-control, is the middle point for something. It involves balancing and regulating our desires and impulses, because maybe if we get along with them, we can go into excess. For example, I like to drink, and drinking is not bad, but it is not the same that we have to drink one cup of wine with our meal, or drinking the whole bottle. The second one is an excess. The first one is temperance. Therefore, we get harmony in our lives if we are tempered. And finally, the prudence. Prudence is a practical wisdom and sound judgment. It's a critical thinking. It involves the ability to make good decisions based on reason, foresight, and understanding of moral principles. It is not only taking free will and intelligence to act, but doing it based on our principles. So, and thinking not only in today. For example, yeah, I'm going to drink today and have fun, but what's going to happen tomorrow? Remember, there were two kinds of conscious, the antecedent and the consequent. We need to think in both. What we can think before the act and after the act. What will happen with that? What things are we going to be responsible of? And that's prudence. And with that, we can understand that there are middle grounds. All those middle grounds are based on the cardinal virtue or some other virtues. For example, for fortitude, the middle ground is courage. We are courage. But if we are cowardice, we are in a vice. If we are rashness, also in a vice. One, because we have lots of fortitude, in the other, because we don't have fortitude. If we are justice, if we don't have justice, we are injustice. But if we have lots of justice, we are unfair. The temperance, it's insensibility. If we don't have temperance, we are cold, or we are hot, self-indulgence. With prudence, we are imprudence if we don't have it, and we are fool or foolishness if we have a lot. For example, liberality, if we don't have, we are stinginess. But if we have a lot, we have extravagance. With magnanimity, we are meanness, and if we have a lot, we are vanity. We like just stuff because they're vain. And in magnificence, if we don't have magnificence, we are pettiness. We are slow, bad, poor as people, as human being. But if we have a lot, we are vulgarity. Do you understand what I'm saying? If not, ask me later. For now, this is all. Thank you for this unit, and we'll see you in the next unit.